Hey, what's up guys? Sukhdeep here. So I've been running this tech channel on YouTube for just over the past year now. And in this video, I wanted to share 6 lessons that I've learned along the way. So for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Sukhdeep. And yeah, I basically run this tech channel where I cover tech that I find interesting, smartphones, tablets, OS updates and stuff. I've posted about 50 videos over the past year, sort of averaging around 1 video a week. And in this video, I wanted to cover some of the things which I wish I knew before I got started. Let's get into it. So I think the first lesson I've learned is that YouTube is definitely very hard. I feel like a lot of people still think of YouTubers as people who just sit in front of the camera and make millions of dollars just from doing that. A lot of people will look at us tech reviewers and think that we're literally getting paid to play around with the latest tech and gadgets, which to some extent is true, but there is a lot of work that goes on into producing these videos behind the scenes. Everything from idea generation to scripting to testing products and researching, shooting videos and then editing them, to managing sponsorships when you start getting approached by brands. A lot goes on behind the scenes to create a 10-minute video like this. And, when you're first getting started out, you're going to be doing all of this on your own. You're probably not going to have a team of people helping you to manage your inbox or edit all of your videos with. And you can imagine that if you've never had any experience with video production before, you're also going to have to juggle learning all of this alongside everything else in your life. And that can be quite difficult, especially if you've got, a full-time job or other commitments. Yeah, I remember I posted my first tech video about a year ago when I was doing my internship, and I was working full time. And then I continued that into my final year of university this year. And yeah, it definitely was tough balancing YouTube alongside things like studying for my exams, running a student society and balancing it with my part-time jobs. It was tough. And I can sort of understand why quite a lot of people end up burning out and end up quitting YouTube eventually because it's a tough job. So if you're currently feeling overwhelmed with your YouTube journey, just know that is completely natural and you shouldn't beat yourself up for it because it's something that most creators will go through at some point. In fact, there's a popular YouTuber called Tom Scott who announced that he was taking a break from YouTube a couple of months ago. And he'd said something about how even though a lot of people think of YouTube as being a dream job is still a job. And I think that perfectly sums up this point. Anyone can hop onto a football pitch and start playing football for free, but only a handful of those players are actually going to make it into professional football. And I think it's a similar thing with YouTube where, it's never been easier to sit down and talk in front of a camera, in front of your smartphone, and start creating content online. But to turn that into an actual job that can sustain you a full-time living, I think requires a bit more strategy and a lot more hard work than if you're just casually posting random videos, which for me is fine because, I enjoy talking about tech. It's something that I'm passionate about. And my goal for my 20s is to be able to spend my time on the things that I'm passionate about. And this brings me on to my second point, which is that there's a difference between treating YouTube as a hobby and a business. Now, this idea can often cause a lot of backlash with some people because, on the one hand, a lot of us get into YouTube so that we can create videos about the things that we're passionate about and share them with other people. But on the other hand, a lot of us also want to make money. That's the main reason why I started doing YouTube, because I eventually want to start making some money from this side hustle. Obviously, money isn't the only thing I care about, or else I would have gone into a career like investment banking. I started doing YouTube because I want to make money from talking about the things that I enjoy talking about. But equally, I probably wouldn't be putting in as much effort as I do into YouTube if I knew there was no way of monetizing it. Currently, the way I like to see it is that you sort of have 2 different categories of content. There's content that you find interesting and enjoy making, and then there's content which your audience wants to hear. And your job as a YouTuber is to figure out which videos lie in the intersection of this Venn diagram. So to give you an example, I'm someone who enjoys both tech and music. And so earlier this year, I did a video comparing Apple Music to Spotify. And that video went on to get something like 3,000 views in its first couple of weeks, which for a channel of my size is absolutely insane. In fact, many of you will probably have started following me because of that video. Then a couple of weeks later, I decided to do a follow-up video on how to discover new music on Apple Music. So same sort of topic, but that video only got something like 100 views. And so you can see that even though both videos were about topics which I personally found very interesting, only one of them was about something that other people wanted to hear. And so don't think that making videos which perform well and making videos which you enjoy are mutually exclusive things. You can do both. You just need to figure out which videos are the ones that you enjoy creating and that your audience wants to hear. And to be fair, not every video that you create has to be optimized. You could have it so that 3 of the videos that you create each month are optimized for the YouTube algorithm. And then the 4th video you can just create on whatever you like, whatever you're passionate about, and not even worry about the algorithm. And yeah, maybe that can help sort of strike a better balance between treating YouTube as a hobby and as a business. Now, if there's one thing that's helped me to treat YouTube more as a business over the past year, it's having a system in place for creating videos every week. When I was first starting out, I'll be honest, I was just creating videos as I went along. I'd come up with an idea on Monday, shoot and edit it during the week, and then publish it on Friday. And then the next Monday would come along, and I'd suddenly have to think of a brand new idea from scratch. And it would just be rinse and repeat constantly. And there would be some weeks where, I'd have an exam to revise for or a society event to supervise. And so I didn't really have a lot of time to film any videos for that week. And so what would happen is I'd end up missing my video for that week and I'd end up falling behind. But since around April, I have managed to figure out a way of creating a system for producing YouTube videos using an app called Notion. So I have a database inside of Notion where I track all of my video ideas. I can see which stage of the production cycle each video is in. And the advantage of having this system is that it enables me to work on multiple videos at once. And I also have a content calendar which gives me a roadmap of when I need my videos to be published so that I know which videos I need to be working on. So for example, today I'm actually filming both this video and my review for the Apple Vision Pro, along with 21 short form ideas that I'm planning to publish in August. So you can see that I'm filming my videos well ahead of when they're meant to be released. And this way you could film a month's worth of content all within a couple of hours. If any of you are interested in this Notion template, I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. There's no pressure to, of course, but I just think that having a system like this just makes the whole process of creating videos a lot easier and more sustainable. Now, the 4th lesson I've learned is that at the beginning, nobody really cares about you or what you have to say. That might sound a bit harsh, but let me explain. So a couple of weeks ago, Marcus Brownlee released a video talking about all of the tech that's used in professional golf. And that video went on to get almost 2 million views. And there was one comment where someone said, only Marquez could get me to watch a video about golf. Now, if a smaller creator went ahead and made that exact same video, same title and thumbnail, chances are not many people would have watched that video. And that's because nobody really knows who they are yet. They haven't built that connection with them. Whereas virtually everyone in the tech space knows who Marcus Brownlee is. And so the moment they see him upload a video, regardless of what it is, it could be a dog review, they're going to click on it because they want to hear what he has to say. Because Marquez has such a large audience, he can probably get away with creating a video on pretty much any topic, and chances are people will click on it, even if it's not fully optimized for the algorithm. Whereas if you did that as a smaller creator, you probably wouldn't get very far. Now, Marquez obviously didn't wake up and end up in this position. He got to where he is by consistently publishing videos that other people found interesting for multiple years. It was only after doing that when he could finally begin moving into more of the fun stuff without that affecting his channel's growth. So the key to building a loyal audience is to just add value for them over time and focus on them at the beginning. whether that's through educating them, inspiring them, or even just entertaining them. Now, the fifth lesson I've learned is that it's okay to make bad videos at the beginning. So many people have this notion in their head that they need to be perfect at making videos before starting a YouTube channel, when in actual fact, the way you get good at making videos is just by making loads of videos over time. In fact, Marcus Brownlee once said on a podcast that the way he became the biggest tech reviewer on the planet was just by publishing videos consistently for 13 years. And if you think about it, realistically, if you've published over 1,600 videos over the course of 13 years, chances are at least one of those videos is going to take off. And the best part about starting YouTube fresh is that you basically have no subscribers to begin with. So even if your videos are rubbish, no one's really going to care because no one's watching your videos. So you almost get to sort of learn in the shadows. Now, the sixth lesson I've learned is that it is completely okay to be camera shy at first. A lot of people seem to think that I'm able to just sit in front of a camera and start speaking for 10 minutes straight, but that is definitely not the case. I've actually got a script in front of me right now that I'm sort of memorizing and reading off of. And most of the time, even with a script, I still make loads of mistakes and stutter along the way. It's just that all of those mistakes get edited out. So what you see at the end is a nice clean 10-minute clip of me talking to the camera. A simple 10-minute video typically takes me around 15 to 30 minutes to record, but back when I started doing YouTube, I was spending anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour just recording my A-roll. So yeah, if you're someone who struggles speaking to a camera, just know that is absolutely fine. It does not mean you are a bad public speaker in any way. Now, the final lesson I've learned is that you just don't know which videos are going to do well on YouTube. Some of my best performing videos are ones which I didn't even expect to do well. If I look at something like my review for the iPad Smart Folio case, I was not expecting that video to get over 7,000 views. I simply created that video because I had no other video ideas planned for that month and I needed something to publish that week. But yeah, I guess it was a product that a lot of people were interested in and one which not a lot of the other big tech reviewers seem to cover. Meanwhile, when it comes to my iPad versus MacBook comparison, that video only went on to get about 700 views, which is still great because hopefully I've helped 700 viewers to make a buying decision. But yeah, very often you'll find that the videos you don't expect to do well are often the ones that end up going to do really well. And you can't really predict which videos are eventually going to take off. So don't be disheartened when you see a video perform poorly, because when you're just getting started out, your analytics are going to be all over the place because the YouTube algorithm is still trying to figure out who your videos are best targeted to. And a lot of that is really outside of your control. The only thing that you can really control is the effort that you put into your videos. So yeah, those are some of the main lessons that I've learned from running this tech channel over the past year. A lot of you might be wondering how it is that I have 9,000 subscribers when I've only been posting for a year. And that's because I've actually had this channel since around 2011. So I basically started off just posting pirated cartoons when I was a kid, back in sort of 2011, 2012. I stopped that in 2014, and then I decided to revive this channel 9 years later and turn it into a tech-oriented channel, which is why I'll still get a lot of videos that get less than 100 views, even though my subscriber count is quite high. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly clarify that. Potentially, I might start doing more of these behind the scenes vlog style videos if people are interested. So let me know in the comments down below if you are. Do also consider leaving a like if this video was helpful. It helps the channel out a ton. And subscribe if you'd like to follow this journey.